Good, great greetings to ya. It's your girl Key. Just a quick video to talk about the importance of empaths looking after yourselves. Now, come on, you guys are not great at it. You let people violate. You don't quite understand how it happens. Your girl Key is here to be of service and to just give you a few words of encouragement, because we know that we're not taught about this, and actually we live in a society that encourages us to give and give and give, and we don't quite realize how perpetual giving causes us pain. This is one of the reasons why I have created the Empaths Guide. The Empaths Guide you can get from my website to help you to learn tactics to look after yourself. Because what we need is empathic people. If you are an empath, I trust you are, is we need to learn how to best protect ourselves so that people don't take advantage. Because often when we are not good at taking care of ourselves, it means that sometimes what we do is we love a lot and we give a lot, and we have the expectation that it would come back. Like, I guess it's a natural thing. I know I used to think it was a natural thing, because I guess I didn't value that I was an empath. So I just assumed that if I loved and I gave, that it would come back to me, and that was seldom the case. And in fact, what happened is life began to hurt. Life began to hurt a whole lot, which is one of the reasons why I decided, you know what, I'd like to train. That's one of the reasons I started reading self-help books, because I just couldn't understand. I guess what I couldn't really understand is how being a kind, considerate person meant that I kept going into relationships where I gave and I didn't get back in return. And so years later, I've come to understand that I'm an empathic person, and I was an empath and I wasn't woke. So I didn't know how best to protect myself, which is why now, as a psychotherapist who often sees highly empathic people who don't necessarily realize they're highly empathic people, I help them to learn how to best protect themselves. And I think one of the biggest challenges for empaths, which is why I've written the Empaths Code, it's a small investment of just the £5 to help you learn 101 tips to best look after yourself. I think one of the reasons why, we give and we don't, because we're not taught. A lot of us are, especially for women, we just taught that you give and you love, and that, that's what you do. And we don't realize that in this perpetual giving and seeing the best in people, that actually, if we're not clear, it will feed anxiety, it will feed depression. It's only a matter of time before it happens. So one of the things that I'm passionate about doing is to help my empathic crew. Big up, Parvis. I see you, my girl. Is to help people to understand why this happens to them. And once people get woke, they get clear, they can see how they end up hurting themselves, how they end up making themselves depressed. And then there's the choices that they consider about how to move forward. But one of the challenges for empathic people, if you have a question, feel free to ask me. I'm seeing my coach in about 5 minutes, unless he's on the phone, is one of the things that empaths have a problem with, I see, is letting go. We have a problem with letting go. And for many of us, we hold on, we live in hope, things may change, we go above and beyond. And what happens when you continuously go above and beyond is people expect it. And additionally, they don't value it. So you going above and beyond for others, breaking your neck. And what happens is the longer you do that, is people expect it, and then they get the audacity to develop, they expect it, and they get like, it's like a sense of entitlement. It's just expected of you. Like, come on, sort yourself out. And this is one of the reasons why change can be really tricky, because some people have built their lives feeding off of your empathy. So when we start to change and we understand, or we put boundaries in place, we learn to say no, we might remove ourselves from toxic WhatsApp groups, for example, there's going to be resistance, because often people want you back in your box. So this is one of the reasons why your girl Key has developed the Empaths Guide, 101 self-care tips to help you start to take steps to best look after yourself. Because another issue that us empaths have is we live in hope. And hope is a beautiful quality. There's no two ways about that. But hope needs to be grounded in reality. Because if it's not grounded in reality, it'll be a fantasy. And if it's a fantasy, it just lives in your mind. And you are living in your mind, hoping and wishing. Yet there's minimal or limited evidence to suggest that that person is going to change. That is one of the reasons why toxic abusive relationships will end, easy P, is when the empath gives up hope. Often empaths are holding up relationships. Their hope, their optimism, the fantasy in their mind's eye is keeping the relationship going. So when we start to realize that holding all of that up is the reason we're becoming depressed, while we're buckling under the pressure, and then when we start to make changes, either through therapy or potentially through reading some of my own books, Why Love Hurts, Am I Dating a Narcissist?, we soon come to realize that it's no wonder I'm depressed if I am holding everything. When you let go, when you start to say no and you start to say yes to you, we have to, well, often you may experience the backlash. And the backlash can be horrible, it can be punishing, there can be sanctions, and it can be incredibly difficult. This is why I'm a companion to many. I help people to navigate that landscape. And one of the things that I am doing, and I hope this is of help to people, is I'm writing about what I notice, so that people who may not want to work with me or may not be in a financial position to do so, they may not be in a financial position to invest in themselves at the moment, can begin to start to read. Because I know for myself, reading was exactly how I got myself where I am today. How did I get myself? Because I started to read. And when I began to read, I became inspired. And I thought, you know what? I think I want to go to uni. Plus, at the same time, my friend, Dr. Jessica Berkeley, began university, and I was incredibly inspired by her. And so, you know, that also ignited a dream in me. And here I am today. Now I help people for a living. I help people going through the same dilemmas, because we are often baffled about why caring and being helpful actually causes us so much pain. The reason it does is because we don't know how to protect our gift. Because I view empathic people as having an immense gift that is worthy of protection. And the challenge we have is we have to learn to do that for ourselves. No one's coming to rescue us. If there's anything I've said tonight that resonates with you, that speaks to you, inbox your girl Key. I'm here to be of assistance. If you're interested in any of the books or the literature that I have, that is all about helping you to develop your wokeness. So you got to get woke, because if you don't get woke, they can kill you. People will kill you with their demands. You know, empaths, people need to talk about this. People will kill you. I'll tell you how they'll kill you. They'll stress you out. We get high blood pressure. We get depression. That's how we can end up in very difficult situations. You know, I was just doing a live on Insta, and somebody shared, you know, that some of the stresses have, you know, caused them to have a stroke. So, you know, it's real. It's real. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such an advocate of us looking after ourselves. Simone Williamson, I thank you and appreciate you for sharing this video. Thank you very much. Shares are gold for me, because, you know, it just means that you're sharing the love, and other people who might be affected will be inspired, because often we don't know, and doctors aren't having this conversation with us. My coach has just called me. I have to go before I get told off. Take care of you, because if you don't, who will? And remember, invest in yourself. Check out these books, all 3 on the Key for Change online store for just £17. Invest in you, because if you don't, take care.